love it. I love it. I love it. Look at this. This is the greatest thing I've ever seen.
Hey, I'm not surprised.
Hey, what's poppin', my bros? What's good? The final UFC card of 2022. Cannonier taking on Strickland. We're going to break down the fights, make predictions. Before we do that, we do what we always do. We go to the champions of Money City. Now guys, there is a few comments that I didn't use purely because there's so many Money City comments. I can't do like 50. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, if I didn't use your comment, my apologies. But the comments that I did use are the first 20 that were winners. So kind of first come, first served. And as always, if you want your Money City comment to feature, you do have to hashtag your comment. So make sure you do that. Alright, so there's like 20. So I'm gonna try to be quick. Rocky said Ankalaev, Tapora, Rosenstrike, pure money. My brother Pike, Paddy, Roses, pure money. Labyrinth said Shabazian, Simon, pure money. Labyrinth, come in to Money City. Eric predicted the full main card, pure money. Anthony said Shabazian, Roses, Paddy, Ankalaev, money. Anthony Muhammad said Magomed, Quarantillo, pure money. Chad Robertson, Billy Q, Shabazian, Roses. My brother Magic Shrooms, Billy Q, Curtis, A. No messing around. No messing around on that one, my bro. Let's go. Alright, next comment. Publicity, Magomed, Paddy, boom. Slim Reaper, like that. Rosenstrike, Paddy, Ankalaev. Shamurda City, Ankalaev, Roses, Paddy, boom. Pure. Robs, Billy Q, Roses, Ankalaev, pure money. Ahmed Masood, Taporia, Paddy, Ankalaev, easy money. Kylo, I think is the pronunciation. Roses, Jarzinho, Tapora, Paddy, Magomed. Hey, pure. It's pure. My bro Josh Hogan, under 2.5 Rosenstrike, over 1.5 Taporia, Ankalaev. And the South African parlay, pure money. Generic Nintendo Kid, Shabazian, Rosenstrike, Pimbler, Ankalaev, Money City, boom. Christian, first Money City, Taporia, Dracus, Biggie, under 2.5, boom. Boom. And Brick had Quarantillo, inside the distance, pure money, bang. Alright, so we speed ran that one pretty quick. Those are the champions of Money City. If you want your comment to feature, be sure to hashtag your Money City play. Alright guys, the final UFC card of 2022. Let's make the predictions. Let's go. Alright guys, first matchup on this card, we've got Sergey Morozov taking on Newson. Now the first question I want to ask with this matchup, who's going to be the better boxer in this fight? I do believe that Morozov can box, I believe Journey can box, but if I had to pick, I'd probably side with Newson being the better boxer. You know, you kind of think back to the way he set down Domingo Pilate, and even in his last matchup, he looked pretty good boxing with Fernie Garcia. And maybe Fernie Garcia's striking defense isn't too good, and that's maybe why Journey looked better than what he probably is, but still, it's good boxing. So yeah, I'd side with Newson being the better boxer, but Morozov is primarily a wrestler and he's probably going to wrestle in this fight. And it kind of gets interesting because you know Newson also has good jiu-jitsu. So yeah, this is it's a good matchup and a difficult pick to make. For me though guys, I'm going to side with Sergey Morozov for the reason that I believe Newson's going to kind of fatigue in this fight as the fight goes on. I kind of see Morozov being successful with his wrestling. You know, maybe successful in round one, even more successful past round one. So purely for that reason, I'm going to side with the wrestler, Sergey Morozov, to win this matchup. Moving into the next matchup, we've got David Dvorak taking on Manel Kape. This is a pretty good matchup. Now, David Dvorak is the chess player. Yeah, good IQ. He makes good decisions in the fight. You know, the footwork, the speed, combinations, good decision making from David Dvorak. And that's essentially why David Dvorak has 20 wins and only 4 losses. He's pretty good. Now on the flip side, Manel Kape is also pretty good. The weaknesses for Manel Kape would maybe be at times he's a little bit inactive. But guys, at the very same time, like when it works, you know what I'm saying, it's a big knockout. It's a good moment for Manel Kape. You know, you see that against Ode Osborne. You know, just waiting, and then boom. So yeah, there's always two sides, you know. When you're inactive in the round, you're thinking, do more. You know, do more. The judges want to see more. But on the flip side, when you're waiting for that big moment, that big explosive moment, and it comes, you're like, that's what he was waiting for. Look at that. Boom. Dusted. And also, guys, Manel Kape hasn't really grappled the opponent yet. You know, hasn't really showed his wrestling as of yet. But I think if he chooses to do so, you might be surprised. For me personally, guys, I'm going to side with Manel Kape to win this matchup. And the main reasons for that is going to be, I think he's more explosive. I think he's more dangerous with the striking. I don't really expect Manel Kape to like win on numbers, you know, win on output. Maybe you'd expect that from David Dvorak. But I think his wrestling and his explosiveness could be the main reasons why he wins this matchup. So yeah, that's going to be my pick. I'm going to side with Manel Kape. Alright, moving into a matchup between Bryan Battle taking on Rinat Fakhretdinov. This is a good matchup. Now guys, Rinat Fakhretdinov, this guy's like a pure wrestler, pure grappler. He showed that in his UFC debut. You know, the forward pressure on the feet is pretty good. You know, he's mainly using that because he wants to get you to the mat. That's what he's looking to do. And that's essentially what he did do against Andres Michailidis. You know, just use good pressure on the feet, get the takedown strong. And he just, you know, bullied Andres Michailidis. Anytime I say bullied, I always think of Leon's coach. Don't let him bully your son. Don't let him do it. But yeah, essentially, Andres Michailidis did get bullied. Rinat bullied him. Now on the flip side, Bryan Battle, this guy's pretty good. You know, the jiu-jitsu's good, the kicking's good, Bryan's good. You know, the way Bryan just completely dusted Takashi. Has Takashi even woke up? Dusted. So yeah, not only does Bryan have good striking, the jiu-jitsu is also pretty good. You know, submitted Petrosky, submitted Urbina. His jiu-jitsu is pretty good. So yeah, this matchup essentially is a good matchup. But I do believe that if Tresean Gore can get Bryan to the mat, Rinat Fakhretdinov can do the same thing. And if Rinat Fakhretdinov can get Bryan to the mat, essentially he is going to be fighting his fight, which is, you know, take you to the mat. Like guys, don't get me wrong. If you're looking at who's got more to offer in this matchup, I'd say it's Bryan. You know, his striking's better, arguably better jiu-jitsu. But guys, if I'm going to look at who's going to probably impose their will, which every fight is essentially who's going to impose their will, I think it's going to be Rinat Fakhretdinov. You know, he's wrestling strong. And if he can take Bryan to the mat, like I said, if Tresean can do it, Rinat can do it. So it's really going to be for Bryan Battle to either submit Rinat or be able to work his way back to the feet. But even if he does work his way back to the feet, I think Rinat's just going to rinse and repeat with the takedown. I think it's just going to be a dominant grappling performance from Rinat. So yeah, essentially, I'm going to side with the Russian. I'm going to side with the wrestling of Rinat Fakhretdinov in this matchup. Alright, moving into a matchup between Maheshate taking on Rafa Garcia. Now, I took Maheshate in his UFC debut against Steve Garcia as like a plus 170 underdog. And my goodness, was it complete dusteration. Dusted. You know, Steve Garcia trying to land this left hook, and the left hook got countered by the straight right hand. And guys, I know his name's not Maheshate, but it kind of looks like it. You know what I'm saying? It's close. So yeah, I'm going to call this guy Maheshate. I think it's like Maheshate, but yeah, Maheshate. For me, it's Maheshate. Now, the opponent, Rafa Garcia, I'm not a big fan, to be honest. I'm not a big fan of Rafa Garcia. I think he's quite tough. You know, I think he showed against Nasrat Haqparast on short notice. He's pretty tough. I think his wrestling's probably the way he would beat Maheshate in this matchup. You know, just take Maheshate to the mat and just, you know, impose your grappling. But yeah, for me, I do like Maheshate. I think he's got the height advantage, the reach advantage, the striking advantage, the power. I like him. I think if Rafa Garcia doesn't get the takedowns, it could be a long night, or maybe even an early night. You know what I'm saying? Machete's pretty powerful. The striking's pretty good. The right hand is quick. So yeah, for me, I'm going to side with the underdog, Maheshate, to go back to back as underdog wins. No, not back to back. It would be 3 times in a row that Machete's won as an underdog. Alright, moving into a matchup that's very difficult to predict. You've got Nurmagomedov taking on Saidyokub, Kakhramonov. Now guys, usually with a Russian, you know, the Russians are combat sambo player. usually a pure wrestler. But with Said Nurmagomedov, this isn't exactly the case. His striking is, you know, super flashy. And even if you're like a flashy striker, it doesn't exactly mean like you're the best striker there is. It just means you're flashy. You know, you might be difficult to compete against. Because let's say Said Nurmagomedov spins and then Saidyokub can counter that spin with a takedown. That's a mistake. And in a matchup like this, Saidyokub is obviously going to be looking to take down Said Nurmagomedov. So yeah, the flashy striking, at times it's good, but if it goes against him, you know, if he spins and makes a mistake, then the flashy striking's not great. But there is one thing for sure. If you're a flashy striker, you know, you're a different type of striker. You might be difficult to read. You know, is it going to be a calf kick? Is it going to be a jump knee? Are you going to spin? We don't really know what's coming next. You know, you're unpredictable, you could say. So yeah, you've got the flashy striking of Said Nurmagomedov against the wrestling of Saidyokub. I think both of these guys are, you know, they're difficult, they're good. You could also think about, you know, a lot of those flashy techniques take a lot of energy, you know, and if you use too much energy and you get tired, then you're going to start to think about, you know, the takedown even more, and you might become defensive. And Saidyokub can see you kind of fatiguing from all those flashy techniques. All those flashy techniques could land. You know, they could be a problem for Saidyokub on the feet. I'm going to side with Said Nurmagomedov, but yeah, this one's risky, guys. You know what I'm saying? This one's risky. Don't bet this one. Alright, moving into a matchup between Julian Marquez taking on Winn. Now, guys, I'm just going to be honest. Winn was fighting at 155 or even 145. I wouldn't say that. But at 185, wrestling's good. But other than his wrestling, what is he really good at? There's not much. You know, he just wants to take you to the mat, sniff your armpit. And I know Julian Marquez got dusted by Violent Obama. Gregory Rodriguez. I know that happened, but what is Winn really going to do in this matchup other than try to sniff his armpit? If Julian Marquez does not win this fight, I would be shocked. So yeah, I think Julian Marquez should actually stop Winn. I think he does. So yeah, I'll side with Julian Marquez. Alright, moving into the next matchup, we've got Jake Matthews taking on Matt Semelsberger. Now guys, for me, I'm going to side with Jake Matthews to win this matchup. And the reason why I'm going to do that, there's a few reasons. Jake Matthews has better experience, you know, fought against better competition. He's also a black belt in jiu-jitsu. The wrestling's pretty good. And I know Matt Semelsberger has good power. He's a good wrestler, but, you know, Jake's got the black belt. Also a good wrestler. And the final reason why I'm going to side with Jake Matthews, just look at how good Jake Matthews is with the boxing recently. Like, his boxing's always been pretty good, but when you look at the speed, the technique against Andre in his last matchup, super impressive. And also Matt Semelsberger, his hair kind of gets in his eyes sometimes, and that's really annoying. You know what I'm saying? I ain't betting on no one's got to keep moving their hair. So yeah, Jake Matthews, there's a few reasons. The boxing, the BJJ, the wrestling, the experience, the speed. It's all good. I'm taking Jake to win this matchup. Let's go. Alright, moving into a matchup between Vlismas taking on McKenna. For me, guys, this one's like 50-50. You know, Vlismas didn't have a good UFC debut against Montserrat Ruiz. You know, Montserrat just kept throwing her to the mat with the scarf hold technique, which is kind of like an amateur thing. You know, if you're getting thrown around by the scarf hold, it's, you know, embarrassing. Now, since then, she has won 2 fights in a row, so credit to Vlismas. You know, she can be quite aggressive on the feet, quite violent. So yeah, that's probably how she would beat McKenna in this matchup. Now let's speak about McKenna. Mary Poppins. What's poppin'? Mary Poppins. Now McKenna, guys, this girl's a good grappler. You know, the wrestling, the jiu-jitsu, that's pretty much what she has to do to beat Vlismas. You know, if she goes in there and stands too long, I'm not saying her striking's bad. I'm just saying, you know, you're kind of giving Cheyenne the chance to win if you strike with her. You know, Corey's just got to implement wrestling, implement jiu-jitsu, and that's how you're going to beat the warrior princess, or, you know, the warrior street princess, if you know what I'm saying. But yeah, this matchup's 50-50. I think I'm taking Poppins. That's what I'm doing. That's what I think. I'm taking Corey to out-grapple Vlismas. You know, implement wrestling, and I think the underdog money, the plus money Could work. So yeah, I'll take Mary Poppins. What's poppin'? Let's go. If you're ready to smoke with me, amen. If you've been smoking this whole time, double amen. If you're not a smoker but you enjoy the smoke breaks, that's a triple amen. Guys, this is the final UFC card, so obviously I want to say massive thank you to everyone that supported my videos this whole year. You know what I'm saying? I make the video every week and it gets supported every week. So yeah, massive thank you to all of you guys. And I hope you have like a really beautiful Christmas, you know what I'm saying? A really good Christmas. I cannot thank you guys enough. You know what I'm saying? I've covered every single UFC event and I did that last year. I've done it again, and every time, massive support. And if anyone's still betting on the World Cup, guys, Argentina's gonna win it. Come on, Messi, come on. Alright, we've got more fights to break down, so let's do that. Have a great Christmas, guys. Thank you for all your support. Alright, moving into a matchup between Cody Brundage taking on Michal Saidyokub. Now, Michal Saidyokub has normally competed at 205, but he has dropped down to 185, and he did that against Sam Alvey and completely dusted Sam Alvey, and he is staying at 185. Now, Michal Saidyokub, this guy's boxing is good. It's very good. On the flip side, Cody Brundage is more of a grappler, more of a wrestler. I know he completely dusted Tresean Gore, but that's not really the way to beat Michal Saidyokub in this matchup. You know, the shot was nice. You know, it dusted Tresean, but I don't think that's going to happen to Michal Saidyokub. It was a good shot, but the way to win this matchup, you've got to wrestle. And that's purely because Cody Brundage is a wrestler. So you've got grappler versus striker. You've got wrestling versus boxing. I've got a feeling that even if Cody Brundage wins round 1 with his wrestling, I've got a feeling he's just going to fatigue. And that's where Michal Saidyokub's going to like rip to the body. You know what I'm saying? Might start to piece him up with the boxing combinations. You know, his boxing's good. It's really not bad. So yeah, this one is picking, are you going to take the wrestler? Are you going to take the striker? For me, I'm going to side with the striker, Michal Saidyokub. Alright, moving into a matchup between Bobby Green taking on Drew Dober. Now guys, Drew Dober can grapple and so can Bobby Green. But I've got a feeling both of these guys are going to be like, hey, let's put a fight on. You know what I'm saying? I got a feeling both these guys gonna strike. And guys, when you look at the striking of Drew Dober compared to the striking of Bobby Green, it's a little bit different. You know, Drew Dober's more about kicks, you know, more Muay Thai, whereas Bobby Green's like just pure boxing. You know what I'm saying? Like the hands are down, shoulder roll, loose. You know what I'm saying? Pop, pop. Shoulder roll, pop, pop. You know, the striking is different, but both these guys are really good strikers. Drew Dober's going to try to kick. You know, he's more explosive. Whereas Bobby Green's just, like I said, it's hands down, pop, pop. You know what I'm saying? It's loose. I think when you've got a striking matchup where one guy's more kick heavy, that guy usually wins. You know, Drew Dober's going to be kicking the legs, kicking the body of Bobby Green. Whereas Bobby Green he wants to box. You know what I'm saying? Hands down. And he's gonna talk. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna try to box with you. I think Drew he's good. This one's a pick'em. Essentially a pick'em. Especially if there's no grappling from Drew Dober. Which I really do believe we're gonna get that. You know, Drew Dober's gonna just be Drew Dober. And Bobby Green's going to be Bobby Green. With a matchup like this, I think, you know, just take the underdog. It's going to be a good stand-up contest. I know Drew Dober's going to cause problems with the kicks. I know Drew Dober's more explosive, but the boxing of Bobby Green is so technical. It's quick. It's good work. So yeah, for me, I'm going to side with the underdog, Bobby Green, to just do what he does, you know, hands down, shoulder roll, pop, pop. Alright, moving into a matchup between Alex Caceres taking on Julian Erosa. Now, essentially, Caceres does believe he's like Bruce Lee. You know what I'm saying? He thinks he's Bruce Lee. So that means he's going to be like karate style, trying to kick. His jiu-jitsu's good, got a lot of experience. On the flip side, Julian Erosa, the only real thing about Julian is like his chin isn't great. But in a matchup like this, is the Bruce Lee wannabe really going to crack the chin of Julian Erosa? I'd be shocked. You know what I'm saying? He's got good cardio, good output, good kicks, sneaky jiu-jitsu late in the fight. You know what I'm saying? There's been a few times where the opponents got tired in round 3 and he'll clamp onto the neck and it's a nice win. You know, it's a good matchup for Julian Erosa, in my opinion, because like I said, the only real thing that I don't really like about Julian is the chin. and Caceres isn't like a big power puncher. So yeah, for me on this one, I'm going to side with Juicy J, Julian Erosa, to just kind of have more to offer than the Bruce Lee wannabe. That's my pick. Now guys, moving into a matchup between Amir taking on Alessandro Costa. Now looking at Alessandro Costa, the calf kicks are powerful, they're heavy. You know, that's a big part of his game. So if these two guys are competing, you know, if Amir and Alessandro are on the feet, look out for the calf kick of Alessandro. Now the problem with that is Amir is very smart and he's well-rounded, so he doesn't have to just strike with Alessandro. He could implement some good wrestling in this matchup. And if you look at the past UFC matchups that Amir has had, he likes to wrestle. You know, he likes to mix it up, show his wrestling and jiu-jitsu. You know, I don't really see any real reason why we should pick against Albazi as of yet. I think he's good. I think he's well-rounded. I think the cardio is also very noticeable. So yeah, guys, for Alessandro Costa, if he wants to win this matchup, you've got to stop the takedown and you might have to starch Albazi on the feet, which I do believe is going to be difficult because Albazi is quite smart. You know, the footwork is pretty good. And I just see him like out-grappling Alessandro. So yeah, I'm going to pick Albazi. Not picked against him as of yet. Like I said, I don't really see any reason why we should do that, especially against Alessandro Costa. So yeah, for me, I'm going to side with Amir Albazi to just show he's more well-rounded, potentially with the wrestling in this matchup. Alright guys, moving into the co-main event between Arman Tsarukyan taking on Damir Ismagulov. Now this co-main event is arguably like one of the most difficult co-main events to predict. Like arguably one of the most difficult fights to predict on this card. And the reason for that is purely because Arman Tsarukyan is a very, very good Muay Thai striker with good grappling. And on the flip side, you've got Damir Ismagulov, who is also a very, very good striker. I've not picked against Damir Ismagulov yet. I've bet him like pretty much every time. Dude makes me money. You know, same with Arman. I've only picked against him one time, which was against Islam Makhachev in his UFC debut. You know, guys, how do you really pick this fight? Like, Arman's good. Damir's good. How do you pick it? How do you pick this one? I don't see how. You know, I kind of think you have to get the gun to the head type of prediction. You know what I'm saying? If you put the gun to my head, who am I going to pick? 50-50. I think I'm going to go with Arman Tsarukyan. And the main reason why I'm going to pick Arman to win this matchup, I think he's going to strike early in round 1. He might lose round 1. But then round 2, I think he's going to pretend to strike and then boom, wrestle. Now we're going to the mat. You know, we could be 1-1 after 10 minutes with this matchup. And then from there, it's like, who's got the better cardio? Who can wrestle? Who's more willing to push to win the fight? And I kind of think the answer is going to be Arman Tsarukyan, but I could be wrong. Damir's good. Damir is very good. So yeah, don't really want to bet on this one, and I think you guys should fade it. You know, it's a pick 'em. Who are you going to pick? For me, I'm going to side with Arman Tsarukyan, and there's no real reason why. I think the Muay Thai of Damir is good. The Muay Thai of Arman is very good. How do you pick? It's a pick'em. Great co-main event. Now guys, moving into the main event, we've got Cannonier taking on Sean Strickland, the final main event of this year. Now I know this is a difficult prediction to make because I keep changing my mind. So I already know that I probably shouldn't bet on this main event. I have got my prediction though. I've made up my mind. I'm not going to change my mind again. I've made the pick. Now before I give you my prediction, I'm going to speak about Strickland and then speak about Cannonier and then give you the reason why I'm going to make the pick. Now for Sean Strickland, the guy can wrestle but doesn't really want to wrestle. As Sean Strickland describes, he wants to do the man dance, which essentially means he's going to go to the middle of the octagon, put up his hands and try to box with the opponent. Now Sean doesn't really try to knock you out with like every shot. You know, it's like 75% on each shot. Even 50%. You know, Sean Strickland essentially wants to just box you. You know, just piece you up. Like I said, guys, Sean can wrestle the opponent, but doesn't really want to do that. it just wants to box. Now on the flip side, Jared Cannonier doesn't really want to wrestle the opponent either. You know, this guy wants to use his striking to win fights. And it's kind of different to Sean Strickland, you know. Every shot that Jared Cannonier throws, he's pretty much trying to knock you out. Jared Cannonier, this dude's trying to knock you dead. So I do believe that if there's going to be a TKO inside the first 10 minutes, it's probably going to be on the side of Jared Cannonier, considering there's way more power to his punches. And another weapon that Jared Cannonier likes to use is the power calf kick. The power calf kick, super effective. You know, which could be a really effective weapon against Sean Strickland, considering he just wants to box the opponent. So yeah, kicking the legs of Sean Strickland, it really could be effective in this main event for Jared Cannonier. Guys, like I said, I've kind of gone back and forth on this main event, but that is going to be the reason why I side with Jared Cannonier. I think the calf kick, it's going to be effective. You know, the fact that Jared Cannonier is going to be more live for a TKO stoppage in the first 10 minutes. The fact that Sean Strickland got starched by Alex Pereira like not too long ago. And the fact that the calf kick could be really effective. Those are the main reasons why I'm going to side with Jared Cannonier to win this main event. So yeah guys, these are my final predictions for 2022. Again, I cannot thank you guys enough for all the support this year. You guys are gangsters. What can I say? As always, keep your eyes to the sky, never glued to your shoes. That's Mac Miller. Have a good Christmas. Peace.